Hello everyone. Thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation. My name is Paige Stevenson and I will be presenting my findings from research I completed while acting as an undergraduate researcher in the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program at the University of Utah. This presentation is titled Power and Patronage, a Study of Female Leaders in Early Italian Courts. Patronage of the arts was an important element of European society and even more so in Italian courts. Patronage is a symbiotic relationship between artist and patron, as the artist receives financial support from commissions or as a member of the court, while the patron enhances their reputation by association with said artist. This relationship between patron and artist is best seen through the lives of Italian women Isabella d'Este, the Marchioness of Mantua, who lived from 1474 to 1539, and Vittoria Della Rovere, the Grand Duchess of Tuscany, who lived from 1622 through 1694. Living almost a century apart, these women provide a clear example of music patronage in the Italian Renaissance and Baroque eras. Isabella d'Este and Vittoria Della Rovere were able to form distinct societal images and achieve personal ideals of power and reputation through the use of music and its patronage in their personal courts. Isabella and Vittoria are comparable not only due to their heritage, but also in the privileged independence they experienced as rulers due to extended time spent away from their spouses. Vittoria lived apart from her husband from 1642 until his death in 1670. Isabella experienced similar distancing due to complications in her spouse's political alliances and military duties, which distanced him from the court. This permitted Isabella greater room to establish an independent presence. It was expected that all women of the court be musically proficient. Isabella, discovering she was capable of moving beyond the basic music education requirement, received training in vocal and instrumental performance. She learned to play many instruments, including lute, viol, and keyboard, as well as being a vocalist. Such an investment in musical studies influenced Isabella d'Este's music patronage, especially in artists she commissioned works from and employed at her court. Music first and foremost served as personal enjoyment for Isabella. Isabella's activities as an amateur musician set the parameters for her music patronage, and she was only interested in patronizing music which she herself could perform. Two musicians of particular importance employed at the court of Isabella d'Este were Bartolomeo Tromboncino and Marchetto Cara. These musicians were instrumental in the development of the frodola, a genre characterized by Italian poetry set to music, and a particular favorite of Isabella. I will now play a short clip of a frodola composed by Bartolomeo Tromboncino. This piece is titled Ostinato vo seguire and was published in 1508. The original lyrics and their translation are included on this slide. The first stanza reads, I shall resolutely pursue my noble enterprise. Love would do me great wrong if I were indeed to die. I shall resolutely pursue my noble enterprise. Music patronage was a convenient resource for Isabella, as she was able to attain education of the highest quality and surround herself with musical content that she herself enjoyed and could perform. While music patronage played a very specific role in Isabella d'Este's court, it took on a different function in the court of Vittoria Della Rovere. Vittoria grew up in the convent La Crocetta, where she learned music, among other subjects, until her departure at the age of 15. Rather than furthering her personal music education, Vittoria elected to advocate for the advancement of female music involvement. Whether strictly as musicians or acting as both musician and lady-in-waiting, Vittoria employed many women at her personal court. Vittoria publicly supported vocalist Barbara Strozzi, who dedicated her first set of madrigals to the Grand Duchess. Shown here is the dedication page to the aforementioned composition. Included in this set of madrigals by Barbara Strozzi is a madrigal titled Godere tacere, which translated means delight and be silent. The lyrics to this madrigal are from a poem written by Barbara Strozzi's father, Giulio Strozzi. The text reads, "The breeze and streams rejoice in our joy, the wanton cupids play among the grasses and flowers, and echo responds to our sweet songs. On this joyful and auspicious day, the graces fly around us, our hearts come to our lips, and our souls unite to the sound of kisses. Ah, say nothing more. Be silent, my voice, be silent." Vittoria was devoted to the cause of music education for those of her same gender. She sent a young singer by the name of Maria Caterina to Rome to learn the singing style bel canto. This zeal for support of young women was also manifest in the patronage of a literary academy created by Vittoria alongside 16 noblewomen. This academy, Le Assicurate, the Assured Ones, included the instruction of music. Shown here is a letter from Vittoria written to Cardinal de' Medici asking for songs appropriate for singing by a young girl at the academy. It reads, "My female academy would be considered favored if your highness would send some songs for Louisa, whose strength of voice could be compared with those that your highness has heard, and if the song were not amorous, it would be a major favor." Having established the way in which music functioned within the courts of Isabella d'Este and Vittoria Della Rovere, the remainder of this presentation will discuss the societal images and leadership roles these women formed through patronage of music. Music was Isabella's idée fixe. As a Marchioness, Isabella occupied a position of power and held the title of political leader. However, a ruler in any right who determines to be recognized and remembered beyond that of their title of power must craft a reputation that will outshine that of their predecessors and contemporaries. Isabella secured prominence as a performing musician and attracted poets and musicians who desired to write for her and about her. She chose to employ and work with those who would aid her in her musical pursuits and assist in the improvement of her abilities as a musician. Such selective choices in hiring and collaborations enhanced her reputation not only as a virtuoso, but as an influential, cultured, and powerful patron. Isabella d'Este shaped the cultural policy of her court by way of her selective patronage. Isabella was truly a leader of culture. She was, in fact, a celebrity. In contrast, Vittoria desired a different sort of power, that of greater political authority. The Medici family, her familial line, desired a royal title, and she adopted the same aspiration. She assumed the role of governor of the fief of Monte San Savino, a title acquired in 1672. It was here that she resolved various political conflicts. Vittoria was well aware of her leadership role and adopted patronage, in all its diverse manifestations, as a means to achieve her personal and political goals. Vittoria crafted an image as diplomat and philanthropic leader. Rather than selecting musicians for her personal enjoyment, Vittoria chose to interact with and support the underrepresented. This became her platform as she grew to be a revered leader who would be remembered for advancing a noteworthy cause. Understanding that protection of the intellectual self-expression of her subjects had profound political implications, Vittoria positioned herself as a defender of the disadvantaged, creating a cohort of subjects that strengthened and legitimized her position and power. Vittoria's influence as a patron can best be seen in the example of female vocalist Leonora Bellani, who got her start in Vittoria's court and later became one of the most famous singers of the period. While not entirely altruistic, the music patronage of Vittoria Della Rovere assisted in the formation of an identity that gained rapport with her subjects and superiors, and ultimately allowed her to achieve the grand goal of an increase in power and influence. The titles of Grand Duchess and Marchioness are not equal in power and responsibility, as Grand Duchess ranks higher than Marchioness. Despite this variance, it is clear that power and reputation took many forms, and both women interpreted the role of leader within their positions differently. The patronage of music is extremely versatile and was utilized in a variety of ways to achieve different goals as leaders. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to view my presentation. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me at the email listed on this slide.